Hello, my delightful students. Welcome to today's sewing guide for beginners, this sewing class for beginners. So today we'll be talking about the basics of sewing on today's class. So we have our handout here, this sewing class handout. If you guys would like to purchase this handout, or you would like it in ebook form, just let us know and we will surely get it for you today. So, have you always wanted to learn how to sew but didn't know where to start? You're in the right place. In this beginner's tutorial, I'll show you everything you need to get started with sewing step by step. This is going to be our first introduction class, the basics to sewing. So, the first thing that we're going to be doing is going over our materials. So obviously the first thing you'll need is a sewing machine. So I have two examples of a sewing machine here for you guys. And these are probably the two best basic sewing machines that you can get out starting as a beginner. And so first of all, I have my Singer heavy duty sewing machine right here. We have our Singer sewing machine. And I have my brother's sewing machine here as well. Now these sewing machines are electronic sewing machines. You do not have to get the electronic versions. You can get the manual versions because there are manual versions of these sewing machines. But yes, these are the two best that I would recommend for you guys to get when you start out sewing. So the materials that we'll be needing, first off, we have our scissors. Now guys, there's a difference between regular scissors and fabric scissors. So now you guys don't have to go out and get the expensive scissors and all that. No, you don't. You just need to get your basic regular fabric scissors. You can go to the fabric store, you can go to Walmart, anywhere to go and get your fabric scissors. The next material we'll be needing is your measuring tape. We have our measuring tape right here. Usually they come by 60. You can get the one that's 112, but you can just get inches, and this side is centimeters, and I will be showing you guys how to read a measuring tape if you do not know how to do that. And we also need our rulers as well. I'll get that out later. We also have our thread. You obviously, to thread your sewing machine, you'll be needing thread. We have multiple different colors right here. We have brown, white, pink, red, purple, green, any type of color that you need. You just get whatever, depending on the fabric you're using, that's the type of thread you will use. So yes, we have that. And we also have these big threads, and sometimes you can use these type of threads on your sewing machine if the spool is big enough, but mostly these are used for sergers, but we'll not be getting into sergers yet, guys. This is just the basics. So we have our thread. You'll also be needing fabric chalk. If you guys don't know what this is, you can buy fabric chalk anywhere, but it's just a chalk that you use to mark out whenever you're pattern drafting on your fabric, or you want to indicate a line on your fabric. You'll just use fabric chalk. There's multiple different colors of it, so you'll also be needing fabric chalk. You'll need your clips and pins. I have pins right here. Or if you don't want to use pins, you can also use clips to clip your fabric together. You will be needing both of those. So those are just the basic things that we'll be needing. And guys, pro tip, when buying your first sewing machine, make sure you look at ones that have like simple stitches, things that are not like too much that you need to, but ones that you can understand. So that's why I recommend these two, or you can get the manual version of both of these because these are electronic. But if you don't want that, just get their manual version of both of these sewing machines. So step 2 is setting up our sewing machine. Now let's set our sewing machine. Don't worry, I know it looks complicated, but guys, when you get the hang of it, it's very easy. I'll break it down for you guys step by step. Okay guys, so for more clarification, I have this other sewing machine here that is for like beginners. Like if you're like a real beginner, this is the perfect sewing machine to get. It's not expensive and it's very easy to understand and learn with. So yes, these sewing machines that I have on the table here, they're for like intermediate to advanced. So these are good as well. But if you really want to start from the basics and you don't want anything too difficult, this is the perfect sewing machine to get. So yes, also like I said, I will show you guys my rulers. I have multiple different rulers here. These come in a set, which you can just buy on Amazon or something. So this is a curved ruler. This is our straight ruler. This would be for your basic bodice and your armhole ruler. And this is your hip curve ruler. So those are the rulers that I have right here. So the next thing that we'll be getting to is setting up our sewing machine. So basically how to thread your upper thread, how to thread your bobbin, and how to adjust your stitch length and tension. So let's get straight into that. Okay guys, so I have my machine already set up right here. Like I said, I'm using this beginner friendly one because for you guys it's the best thing that you can get. So what we will be doing right now, what I'll be showing you guys how to do right now is to thread the upper thread, to insert the bobbin and how to thread your bobbin on the windle, and how to adjust your stitch length and tension. So let's get straight into it. The things you're going to be needing right now, you will need your thread, obviously. You will need your scissors, and you will be needing your bobbin. Now, most sewing machines, actually all sewing machines, come with about 3 to 5 bobbins in it. But if you are one that uses a lot of different thread colors, you might need to go and get more bobbins. But for now, all you will be needing is a bobbin that came with your sewing machine. And also, so the materials you'll be needing for this is your thread, any color thread you want to use. I'm just going to be using green to demonstrate to you guys right here. Any type of thread that will fit on your window, guys. So now, if you have this type of thread, don't use it. This is more like for serger because the thread needs to fit on your window. This, you can't even put the thing in. So use a thread that will fit perfectly just like this. So your thread, I have green thread here. You'll be needing your scissors, fabric scissors, make sure it's fabric scissors, and you'll be needing your bobbin. Now, most sewing machines, actually all sewing machines, they do come with a bobbin, like 3 to 5 bobbins in the pack, so you can use one of those. But if you obviously have multiple colors of thread, you might need more, but for now, you just need your bobbin right here. So the first thing I'll be doing is showing you all how to thread your bobbin. So let's just get right into it. So y'all, I have my sewing machine set up right here. It's already plugged in and everything. So the first thing we'll be doing is learning how to wind our bobbin, as I have said before. So you're going to come here to your spool pin right here. You're going to take your thread. You're going to take this off. And you're going to insert your thread inside and put this back on just like this, as you guys can see. So the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to take our thread. Also, on most sewing machines, these things are numbered, so you can see this is 1, this is 2, yes, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 4, 6, and 7 would be down here. So anyway, like I said, you're going to take your thread. The first thing that you're going to do is this loop you see here. You're going to take your thread and put it under this loop, just like this. Make sure it's under the loop. And then the next thing that we're going to do is that this ledge right here, we're going to take the thread and put it under this ledge so that your thread ends up looking like this. But to wind your bobbin, the next thing that we're going to do is this right here. We're going to take our thread, move it to the right, just like this. We're going to wrap it around this, just like this. I hope you guys can see what I am doing. You wrap it around. So the next thing that you're going to do is that you're going to take your bobbin, and as you can see, there is a hole that is right here, and also on the bottom as well. There is a hole, and that is to take your thread in. So you're going to take your thread just like this, and you're going to come from the inside. You're not going to do this, no. You're going to come from the inside and go up to the hole. So from the inside, you're going to slit your thread inside just like this, and you're going to pull it from the top. So it went in to out. So you're going to pull it just like this. Then you're going to come over here. You are going to put your bobbin on this, and you need to hear it click in place just like this. Now, guys, one mistake that you, as a beginner, you might make is that when you do this, you're like, okay, I can start. You just put your thread, you just press your foot pedal like this. As you can see, it's not doing anything. Instead, it's controlling the needle right here. That's not how to do it. Once you put your thread here, you're going to push this to the side just like this, so it's locked in place. So then you're going to put your foot on your foot pedal, and it goes like this. So once you've done that a little bit, you're going to take your scissors and cut the thread up here. And then you're just going to continue. And you are literally threading your bobbin, guys. So just continue until it gets full. So, as you can see, I am putting my foot on the foot pedal just like this. And it goes. And as you can see, guys, it started slowing down. That means it's full. So, the next thing you're going to do is that this right here, you're just going to cut that. Push, make sure you push this back and then you take it off. If you try and take it off while it's on, it's gonna get stuck and you might break something. So make sure you push it back and remove your bobbin. So guys, we have a fully threaded bobbin right here. That is how to wind your bobbin. So like I said, guys, we have threaded our bobbin. So after doing that, your thread is like this, right? You're gonna just, from the back here, you're gonna pull your thread out of this. And it's still in here. So just for demonstration, I'll show you guys again. So if you already have your bobbin prepared, you would do this thing that I did first. You put it through the loop. Then you would take it back here. You would take your thread back here. But instead of going here to roll it, you're going to follow. This says number 2. So we're going to come down. We're going to take our thread and we're going to pull it down this line. Number 3 right here, as you guys can see. We're going to pull it down. Then you're going to come to this loop, which is number 4. You're going to pull your thread around the loop. Then after that, as you can see, there's nothing here, guys. You're going to go to your hand wheel right here. You're going to turn it until on your sewing machine, there is a point like this line right here. I don't know if you guys can see. You might feel it instead of seeing it. There's a line, and make sure it's lined up with where your sewing machine is connected. And once that's up, you can see that this loop came out, as you guys can see right here. So you have your thread that you pulled up from number 4. This is number 5. You're going to pull it into the loop. You're going to pull it into the loop just like this. So your sewing machine has been looped through this hole. Then your thread, I mean. So then you're going to come down number 6 right here. You're going to come down to number 6. And then this ledge right here, you're going to take it to the back. Come forward so that this is the thread is behind this ledge, as you can see. And then you're going to make sure your needle is up. You can take your needle down right here. You're going to come in from behind. Ooh, it might be a little bit difficult for you guys, but you're just going to come in from behind so that your thread goes behind that loop right there, as you guys can see. Make sure it goes there. Then you're going to lift your needle back up. And then some sewing machines come with a needle threader, but beginner sewing machines, they don't. So what you're going to do is that you are going to put your thread through this needle right here. So you can put your thread through the needle. Pull your thread through the needle, which I have done right here. Oop. So you have now threaded your sewing machine. So we're not done threading yet. You can't just sew just like this. We're going to take the bobbin that we have already created. Now this Dex thing is here. That's a lot of sewing machines. Sometimes it'll be here, but with most sewing machines, your bobbin will be placed. Your bobbin case, it will be placed right here. So you're just going to open it just like this, which I just moved and it opened. You're going to take it out. And as you can see in here, you're going to just drop your bobbin in here. So make sure your thread is facing this way. You're going to drop your bobbin into the bobbin case. Then a lot of sewing machines, they have directions that you can use. From here, as you guys can see, you can pull your thread this way. Make sure it goes under this loop and out here like this. Now, guys, they have a blade here that you can use to cut your thread, when it goes here, so you just use it to cut your thread. But I don't like to do that because if you do that, when you pull your thread out, it won't come out properly. So instead of doing that, you're just gonna leave your excess thread, so under the loop and through here, just follow the lines. So instead of cutting it, you're just gonna leave your excess thread just like this, and you're going to put your clear cover back on. And then you're going to take this thread that you've just threaded. You're going to go to your hand wheel. You're going to turn it clockwise, which is this way. You're going to turn it forward clockwise. You're going to come here. And as you can see the needle moving down, this is going, you just have to keep doing it. It's eventually going to pick up this thread. So just keep rolling it until it picks up your thread. So eventually it picked it up right here. Then you're going to take the bobbin thread out here. And as you can see, it has now picked up our bobbin thread. So we're going to put it under the presser foot just like this. We're going to put the top thread under the presser foot as well. So we have our 2 threads here. Let me just cut it a little bit. So your sewing machine is ready to start sewing. Yay! We have completed that. So now that I've shown that to you guys, I'm just going to show you some of the basic things, like features on a sewing machine. This right here is to backstitch. So whenever you want to backstitch, you would press this down and backstitch. On the next class, I will show you guys how to do all of that. Right here, we have our tension. So normally your tension would stay at 4, but if you want a looser tension, you would go up, and the highest it will go to is 9. That's a really loose tension. But if you want a really tight tension, you would go here to 0 or any of the numbers in between. But the regular, as you guys can see, the line goes from 3 to 5 because that's the regular. The regular you would leave your tension is for a normal straight stitch is 4. This is our stitch length right here. Our stitch length is how wide the stitch is when the needle drops in. So if you want a wide stitch length, you would go to 4. A small stitch length, you would go to 0. But a normal stitch length is at 2 or 2.5. But I leave mine at 2 for a normal stitch length. So depending on what you're sewing, you would change that. But I will explain all that to you when that is needed. And we have our stitch types here. Now on a normal sewing machine like this, you have a few stitches. On the other sewing machines that I showed you guys earlier in the video, I know it had a whole plate of stitches, but that is later on when you get into more of the intermediate mode. But these stitches, this is a straight stitch right here. You can go to a side stitch, you can go to a zigzag stitch, different design stitches here. And as you guys can see, it's moving as I'm changing it because of the different stitch types, but you would just leave yours here at a normal stitch right here. So that is how to thread your sewing machine. Hello guys, so like I said, we have finished threading our sewing machine. I'm so happy to have showed this lesson to you guys. As you can see, our stitches are right here. So great job everybody. You've learned the basic tools on how to set up your machine and how to understand your stitches. In the next video, in the next lesson, we'll talk about different fabrics and how to choose the right one for your sewing projects. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss the next lesson for this class. Have any sewing questions? Don't be scared to drop them in the comment section below, and I will be happy to help each and every one of you, my delights. So I will see you all next time on this sewing class. This is Sewing Tutorial for Beginners. Goodbye, guys. And this is your girl, Deborah Lubu, CEO of Delightful Couture. Don't miss the next episode. Bye.